Unless it can have a daily close above 44,000, we could retest 38. That's really anything under that to me is skepticism for bullish pattern, and resistance from scene of the crime retrace is the key. Remember, we talked about scene of the crime. Solana coming down today just a little bit, so there's still a chance it could do it, but it needs to do it sooner than later. You got 2, 4, 6, 8 sideways candles.
Wait a minute, everyone. Get ready for the ultimate crypto investing website, the Bitcoin Seller. It's your golden ticket to an exclusive insiders club. Expert predictions, on-chain data, and breaking news, all for you. Imagine all crypto insights landing in your inbox daily, like having your own expert team. Don't miss this VIP opportunity. Click the link and secure your spot. Join now and ride the crypto roller coaster with the Bitcoin Seller. Gareth Soloway, a technical analyst and a market expert. In this video, Gareth will share his insights on the charts of inflation, Bitcoin, Solana, and gold, and how they are affected by historical and current factors. He will address some of the key questions and challenges that many traders face, such as: how does the inflation chart's wedge pattern relate to the Great Depression's 100-year cycle? What drives Bitcoin's next move at the 44,000 resistance and chances of breakout or breakdown? How does Solana's retracement affect its price? And what are the key support and resistance levels? How does gold's inverse head and shoulders pattern signal a possible breakout? And what influences its price? Let's join Gareth in a conversation about these topics and more.
Take a look at this. This is the inflation rate going back to the Great Depression, actually pre-Great Depression. And what you actually saw here, folks, is that in the period just before the Great Depression, inflation jumped insanely. We were talking 20% inflation in the roaring 20s, right? In the roaring 20s. So again, things were good, but inflation was going nuts. We then saw, again, a huge dip here, and then a bounce back, and then obviously we came into the Great Recession, which is where we got the kind of the lower end of recession of inflation. We actually got deflation because the Great Depression was so dramatic. Now, the reason I draw this to your attention, guys, is very simple. It actually is starting to make a wedge pattern. Now, again, many people say, well, how can you even chart something going back this far? But to be honest, anything can be charted. It really can, because again, human nature doesn't change over time. Inflation is caused by things that humans do, and ultimately, therefore, you can chart it. So what we see here is we see that top on inflation. And look, when you go to 1950, we had a pop. Then we had the 70s and 80s, the highest pivot right there. And look at what we just hit right there. Perfect down-sloping trend line. Same thing with the low end. You look at here, and you look at right through here, you have this classic wedge pattern. Now, the reason why the wedge pattern is important is because essentially you're going to get a breakout one way or the other. You're either going to get a move this way, which is going to be really bad, or you're going to get a move this way, which, again, you might say, wow, deflation, that means prices would go down. Well, yes, but what's the culprit of that? Because if you get deflation of serious magnitude, you can better believe we're basically in a Great Depression in that scenario. So, again, at some point, this is going to have to break. That's how wedge patterns work. They come to a head, right? And, again, price can go in here only until that point. And then at some point, it has to go one way or the other, and that's something to pay attention to. Now, interestingly enough, as these things kind of come together, it takes us into the second half of this decade, which, by the way, is the 100-year cycle for the Great Depression.
The U.S. inflation rate reached a 39-year high of 6.8% in November 2021, driven by surging energy, food, and shelter costs. This exceeded the expectations of economists and the Federal Reserve, and raised concerns about the impact on consumers, businesses, and the economy.
All right, guys, back in we go. Here's your Bitcoin chart. We're going to get right into the mix. Bitcoin not doing much since the last couple days. Yesterday, it did make a push up to retest that line and then got rejected. Today, it's upticking a little bit. Unless it can have a daily close above 44,000, that's really anything under that to me is skepticism, and resistance from scene of the crime retrace is the key. Remember, we talked about scene of the crime. All right. Resistance, breakout, scene of the crime, back, breakdown, retrace to the scene of the crime. Now, at least you're kind of making a little bit of a bullish pattern. It's still semi-intact, so there's still a chance it could do it, but it needs to do it sooner than later. You got 2, 4, 6, 8 sideways candles. Time is a ticking. If it doesn't break out in the next couple days, I think it's starting to move down here, and we could retest 38.
SOC, the scene of the crime, is a trading term that refers to the price level where a significant move occurred, such as a breakout or a breakdown. Traders often use this level as a reference point for future price action, as it can act as a support or resistance zone. A retest of the scene of the crime can either confirm or invalidate the original move, depending on whether the price bounces or breaks through it. Knowing that after the SEC approved the first physical Bitcoin ETF in January 2024, after years of rejections and delays, these ETF track the spot price of Bitcoin, unlike the previous ETF that were based on Bitcoin futures contracts. The first 10 physical Bitcoin ETF launched on January 11, 2024, and attracted billions of dollars in inflows. You may see a big change in the price of Bitcoin soon.
Solana coming down today just a little bit. Look at the scene of the crime retrace here. All right, right along this line, right? Boom, 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 big move. Again, broke down, retrace to the scene of the crime, getting rejected right there, trading at 94. As long as this low holds right here, which is around 77, 78, it's okay. That's your support line. So support here, resistance right up here. Again, if you break this level, that's where really trouble starts to start on the Solana chart.
Solana is a blockchain platform that claims to offer high scalability, low fees, and fast transactions. It uses a hybrid consensus mechanism that combines proof of history and proof of stake, and supports smart contracts and decentralized applications. Solana's native token is Sol, which is used for paying fees, staking, and governance. Solana has been one of the best-performing cryptocurrencies in 2021, reaching an all-time high of over $260 in November. However, it has also faced some challenges, such as network outages, security breaches, and regulatory scrutiny. Solana's price has been volatile and range-bound in the past 2 months, trading between $90 and $120.
Gold, again, inching back up after a couple down days. Again, for me, I continue to watch the bigger inverse head and shoulders, which is right here. And this is really, if we're looking at this, I mean, this is just consolidation in here, right? So eventually we look for that breakout to the upside, but not much to update you guys on that chart.
Gold price has been resilient and stable in the past year, despite the challenges from the pandemic, the rising bond yields, and the competition for Bitcoin. Some investors see gold as a safe haven and a hedge against inflation, while others prefer more risky and innovative assets. Gold is also influenced by the supply and demand dynamics, as well as geopolitical and social factors. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.